And it's one of the older of the new songs, so I may have tested it out this year already on the road, but my parents, they split when I was 6 going on 7, and I went from living in a house on an old farm with a big old yard and a mom and a dad and 2 brothers and a dog and a cat and a garden and a lot of noise and life and sound and energy. And I remember very viscerally when my parents split, my mom and I, we moved off together. For the most part, it was she had custody of me, so we moved off, her and I, and we moved into a 1-bedroom apartment. And my bedroom was her walk-in closet, and as walk-in closets go, I didn't have a window. I remember how just representative it felt of that whole experience for me and my little 7-year-old brain. But we also moved to a new school district, so I was heading into a new school. And my mom, at the time, I don't really know how she did everything she did. She was a single mom who we were on welfare, and she was working part-time, and she was interning and going to school to get her degree to make more money and raising me. So she did all of these heroic things simultaneously, and miraculously she did them all incredibly well. So I still look back on the time and I'm like, wow, how the hell did she do that? And it's sort of where I measure when I think I have it bad. I just kind of measure it up to that, and I'm like, nope, I got this. One of the things that she did to save money during that time is when my parents were together and we all lived in a house together, we had a jar of change that everyone sort of threw their change into. And we had that jar in the apartment, and once a week she would dump that jar out onto the apartment floor, and she would count 5 bags with 100 pennies each in them. And back then, school lunch was $1, so she sent me to school to pay for my lunch this way. And not only was I the incredibly dorky, artsy, weird, quiet new girl, but I had this friggin' bag of pennies in my hand when I showed up, and I was mortified. And I remember being in the cafeteria in the lunch line. My goal was just to get to the lunch lady without anyone seeing. And I'd have that little bag of pennies in my fist, in my sweaty little nervous fist, and I'd be dragging my puke-colored lunch tray. They were always a horrible color along those 3 metal bars, just getting to the lunch lady. And then when I got there, I would find her hand, and I would put my hand on her hand, and I would shove the pennies into her hand. I was like, just take the pennies. It's like a drug deal. And every day, she would look down at me and she would scowl. I don't think she was a really big fan of our little ritual. And one day she finally broke down and she started yelling at me in front of the other kids about how I should have signed up for the school program for kids who can't afford lunch a long time ago. And I was so embarrassed. I burst into tears and I ran out of the lunchroom. And the school took notice of this, and they thought something was wrong. So they pulled me out of lunch the next day and said, from now on you're going to eat lunch with this lady. She's the school counselor, and she's going to ask you questions about your home life, and she's going to be there for you. And it was a program called Banana Splits. Which, even in my 7-year-old brain, I knew was super lame. But I was like, okay, I'm gonna eat every day with banana splits. The thing was, I was the only banana split in Banana Splits. There were no other kids in this program. So I ate lunch every day with this woman, and she would just kind of drill me about my life, my home life, and I remember just being like, oh, come on, let me just eat this chicken patty on a bun, and and her office didn't have a window either, and it had a picture of a window painted on the wall, which I thought was even more depressing. But I thought, I really ought to write a song about evil lunch ladies. And I'm still going to write that song.